Hi, in this video we're going to look at how to start to build onto our map application and have it be able to display where you currently are, and also to be able to zoom in to your location and put in a drop pin, and we'll also add a little message here about what the pin is for. So I'm going to start with an application that I created in a previous video, and the link to that video is currently displayed on the screen. So if you don't have this already, you can go back there and create it. This is connected to the Google Play Services library, and I also have my API key set up in my manifest file. So this is configured so that when it runs, it displays a map, but no specific location information. Now, before you can interact with a Google Map object, it's best to confirm that that object is instantiated and that the Google Play Services components are correctly installed on the target device. Since Google Maps requires using Google Play Services, we want to verify that everything is all set up and ready to go and able to use the map object. So we can verify that the Google Map is available by calling the map fragment.getMap function or the map view getMap method. And we can check to see that the return object is not null. So how do we go about doing that here in our code? Well, first of all, I'm going to create a Google Map object up here. So right after my fragment activity, I'm going to put in a Google Map object, and I'm going to have to import that in. And next we're going to call a function to set up our map. So we're going to check and see whether we have everything in place. So this is called setupMap if needed, and this is a version that's similar to the code that's available on the Google Android developers website. So you can see here it says setup map if needed, and it's undefined, so I'm going to create that method, and then I'm going to add the code in here of what I want it to do in order to set up the map. So I'm going to just paste some code in here, and again, a lot of this is directly from the developers documentation, and I need to import in the support map fragment. So the support map fragment actually creates a map fragment, so we need to import that in to be able to use that. Now, a Google Map can only be acquired using getMap, so this automatically initializes the map system and the view. But we can't be guaranteed that it will be ready, because unless the Google Play Services is installed, it won't be able to be displayed. And in cases where the map can't be displayed, it will return null. So if we get to this point and we have the map fragment support in here to create the map, then we're going to create another method called setupMap that's going to go in and do some additional setup. So let's add this method. And I'm going to add some code in here, and then we'll look at that. So after I paste this in, we've got a lot of things to import in. So we've got the location manager. Rather than doing them all at once, I'm just going to go through each of them, and our criteria for the provider of our service, and then location, and then longitude and latitude, and the camera update factory, and marker options. So we'll go through this code and get everything set up, with all of these imported in right now. And if I try to run this, and again, this is connected to a phone device, and I run the DDMS, and then we take a screenshot, then here is our result. So this piece is all working, so let's look at the code and see what's going on with that. So we'll start up here with Google Map.setMyLocationEnabled to true. So this enables or disables the My Location layer. So by setting it to true, it enables the layer. And while the My Location layer is enabled, it will draw an indication of the current location of the device. Now for Location Manager, right, this class lets us access the system location services, and that allows the application to get updates about the location of the device. Now we can't instantiate this directly, so we have to retrieve it through Get System Service. Anytime we use this, it's going to require us to have the Access Course Location or Access Find Location permissions set up in the Android manifest, which we already have set up. Now for criteria, right, we are using the criteria class. So we're creating a new criteria class object. What criteria will do for us is it indicates the criteria for selecting a location provider. So in other words, how accurate do we need? How much power do we want to use in this? And that's going to depend on the settings that you have for your maps. Okay, now this one creates a string called provider, and we're using our location manager to let it figure out what the best provider is based on the criteria. And you can see here it returns the name of the provider that best meets the given criteria. And if several meet, then the one with the best accuracy is returned. So we'll let the API figure out what the best provider is for what we're trying to do on our map. Then we use our location manager to get the last known location or the current location and assign that to a My Location object. Then we set the map type, right? We have set map type, and we have hybrid, which will include satellite maps with a transparent layer of major streets. We can also have a normal type, which is a basic map. We can have satellite maps with no labels, and then we can also have terrain for terrain type maps. Okay, now down here we're going to use our My Location, right, our location manager for where we currently are to get our current latitude and to get our current longitude. And then we create a new latitude longitude object that contains our current longitude and latitude data. Right, then we use the current location in the Google Map by moving the camera with the camera update factory, and that is going to use the current longitude and latitude. And then we're going to animate the camera so it will zoom in, and we have different settings here. So this takes a number between 2 and 21. So the higher the number, the closer it zooms in. The smaller the number, the further it zooms out. And then we add a marker, right? And you can see that we're positioning it on the map. So we have Google Map.add marker and positioning it, and here is our little title. So that is adding on to the previous map application that we created just to display a map, and now we're fine-tuning it with finding the location of the device.